Hey everyone, and welcome! Ever get that feeling that your writing is just a little flat? Well, today we're going to fix that. We're diving deep into the power of contrast to make your words, your characters, and your ideas really pop off the page.
So here's the game plan. First, we'll talk about why contrast is such a powerhouse in writing. Then I'll give you the actual tools for the job. After that, we'll see them in action with a really cool case study about a character named Leo, and then it's your turn. We'll do a little practice and wrap it all up with a super useful checklist to make your own writing even stronger.
Okay, so first things first, what is writing with contrast, really? Well, at its heart, it's all about showing differences. Think about it. Our brains are hardwired to notice what's different, what stands out from the crowd. So when you put two opposing ideas or people right next to each other, bam! Their unique qualities suddenly become way clearer, way more memorable for your reader.
And here's the key to making it work. You've got your main point, right? Your topic sentence. Everything else you write, all the facts, the reasons, the examples, has to tie directly back to that main point. That connection is what gives you writing its punch, especially when you're showing, like we see here, how one thing is totally different from another.
All right, let's get practical. How do you actually do this? I'm going to show you a few super simple but crazy effective words that are about to become your new best friends for creating that awesome contrast. First up are what we call clauses of contrast. I want you to think of words like while and unlike as little spotlights. They shine a bright light on two different things and basically scream to your reader, hey, pay attention, these two things are not the same. Let's see exactly how they work.
Did you catch that? Just that one word, while. It sets up the entire mini-drama in the sentence. It immediately creates this tension between what Matteo thinks and what the supplier knows is true. It's so simple but so powerful.
And here's another great one with unlike. It just draws this perfect, clear line between Emma's let's just go approach and her cousin's super detailed planning. In a single sentence, you get this huge insight into who they are as people. It's amazing.
Okay, our next set of tools are what I call phrases of exception. These are your secret weapon for when two things are almost the same, but there's that one crucial difference. These phrases help you zoom in on that one little detail that breaks the mold.
See how that works? First, you establish what's similar. They had similar itineraries. And then, boom, except for carves out that one single difference. It adds this really nice layer of detail to your writing that makes it feel so much more real. Okay, so theory is one thing, but let's see how this stuff works in the wild. We're about to read a short piece about a character named Leo Martinez. As I read, I want you to really listen for how the author uses contrast to build this incredible, vivid picture of who this kid is.
Right off the bat, you can feel it. The sentence starts by telling us he's different. Then it uses while to show us exactly how. Most kids follow influencers, but Leo creates his own style from thrift shops. That contrast immediately makes him interesting.
And they do it again. That same structure. While most of us listen to pop, Leo is over here with swing and steel drums. It reinforces this idea that he's on a totally different wavelength, and it builds his character layer by layer.
Here, the contrast is a little different. It's not about him versus other people, but his present versus his past. Setting his exciting new job against his old job at a grocery store really highlights how far he's come and how he's found his perfect niche.
And this is the great twist at the end. It's the ultimate contrast, isn't it? The one kid who couldn't care less about fitting in is the one who ends up setting all the trends. That final piece of irony just makes his character so memorable.
Okay, let's break that down for a second. That very first sentence, Leo Martinez isn't like most kids in our neighborhood. That's our topic sentence. It makes a big claim. And then what does the writer do immediately after? They hit us with a supporting statement, starting with while, giving us instant proof through contrast. That is exactly the powerful structure we were talking about earlier.
Okay, you've seen how the pros do it. Now it's your turn to get in the driver's seat. We're going to take a couple of simple ideas and use our new tools to smash them together into one supercharged sentence. You ready for this?
All right, here's our first little puzzle. On the left, we have the idea that most students prefer working in groups. On the right, creative thinkers like Clara enjoy working independently. See? Two totally opposite ideas.
So the question is, how would you combine these using the word unlike? Take a second, think it through. How can you use that word to smoothly connect these two and really make that difference pop?
And here's the answer. Unlike most students who prefer working in groups, creative thinkers like Clara enjoy working independently. See how clean that is?
Putting unlike right at the start sets up the whole comparison instantly. We've gone from 2 boring facts to 1 really dynamic sentence that shows this clash of work styles.
Let's do one more. Challenge number 2. On one side, we have Felipe, who's all about experimenting with musical styles. On the other, we've got a lot of producers who just stick to one genre. A classic case of innovator versus the establishment.
Okay, this time your tool is the word while. So how would you put these 2 ideas together using while? Think about where it makes the most impact.
And here we go. While many producers stick to one genre, Felipe experiments with musical styles to create something original. Perfect. Starting with while establishes the boring norm, right? And that just makes what Felipe does seem so much more exciting and creative by comparison. Awesome job.
Okay, to wrap all this up, I want to leave you with a really simple, practical tool. Think of it as your writer's checklist. You can pull this out anytime you want to make sure your paragraphs are as sharp as they can be.
So before you decide a paragraph is done, just quickly ask yourself these 4 questions. 1. Do all my supporting sentences actually relate to my main point? 2. Do they help explain it or build on it? 3. Is everything in a logical order? And 4. Is there anything else I could add? Another fact, another example to make it even stronger? Seriously, this is your secret weapon for making your writing incredibly focused and powerful.
And I want to leave you with a challenge. Think about the Leo Martinez in your life. You know, that one person who just marches to the beat of their own drum. How could you describe them using the tools we talked about today? How could you use while, or unlike, or except for to really capture what makes them them? Give it a shot. I think you'll be amazed at how much your words can pop